Hey everybody, what's happening? Welcome to my Thursday Q&A where I answer your questions, so drop them in the comment section below and I will do my best to answer everybody's questions next week. Make sure that you ask in the previous week's Q&A if you want me to answer them in the next. So we got quite a few this week, so let's get started on this. The first one says, have you ever heard, and it's from Strocat, says, have you ever heard of a product called Seafoam? Yes, I have, and I've used it in many vehicles and it seems to have helped most of them. Arkansas Mike says, do you have any suggestions on what size auxiliary battery I need? I do not, because I have no idea what you're trying to power. I can tell you, for me, I power my fridge all day and all night. I use fans, at least one fan at night, every night. I use my LED light strip at night for a few hours, and I charge my laptop and usually a couple camera batteries every night, and my 93 amp hour battery is barely enough with the, as long as I go on a drive at night, it's enough with my battery isolator and my 100-watt solar panel. When it was just the 100-watt solar panel, it was not enough, especially on days where it's overcast. If I was in full sun all day long, it would probably be enough, but it's never going to be full sun every day. So McHunt says, hey mate, do you wish you had a 4x4 with a 4x5 trailer so that you could go anywhere for as long as you like going off grid for a week? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do, but anything 4x4 is going to consume a lot more fuel than I use now, and I like how good this thing is on gas and how compact it is. It's so easy to drive, especially in the city. Yeah, 4x4 also presents other problems with maintenance and stuff, and if I had a 4x4, I would be going a lot more places where I would probably get stuck a lot more often. So there's pros and cons to having and not having four-wheel drive for sure. Josh Lawyer says, have you ever thought of coming to Ohio? I've actually been through Ohio. Yeah, cool place. I did not like Cincinnati though, but I only went through like the ghetto part. I went through like 5 blocks, like just abandoned buildings and like bars on window and sketchy looking people. And that's all I really know about Cincinnati. Obviously, there's much more to Cincinnati and there's much more to Ohio than that. But the rest of it was just like farmland. It was nice. I don't remember if it was Ohio or if it was another state. It might have been some other state where I went to one of the Great Lakes, and they had all these sailboats out there, and it was really cool. They had a really nice state park in some little city I went through. I forget where that was, though. Next question comes from Richard Brown, and it is, regarding mold and humidity, have you tried or considered some of the renewable automotive dehumidifiers that use silica gel crystals? I have not. I saw my buddy, who was showing me that? Someone had these bags that like collected humidity. Oh, it was Corey the Moody Traveler. He had these bags that like collected the humidity in the bags, and then you dump out the bags or something. I was going to get some of those when I was down in New Orleans, but since I fixed the leaks in the van, or at least temporarily on the rear one, I haven't had a problem with water entering the van, so it hasn't really been a big deal. But when I go back down to the south where it's humid all the time, I will be looking into those for sure. Eddie Dude says, hey man, I just turned my seat around. Do you have any plans on curtains for stealth camping so that you can chill in your seat without anyone knowing you're in your van? Okay, so this is my favorite new spot. I turn the seat around and I can just sit up here and edit and stuff, and it's great. And all my windows are tinted down, the front ones, but you can still see through the front ones a little bit. So I am going to get some Reflectix like I've done for the side windows, which Reflectix on one side, and then I glued this black velvet felt material on the other so that it's black. And I've got the cutouts for the window tint for the front windows, so I've got a perfect template for the front windows. I'm just gonna cut out some Reflectix and put it up that way, and bam, I'm insulated. I can leave my front curtain open and have room up here all night, and I feel like I have more space that way. And the entire front's sealed off from light. I'm going to figure out what to do about this little cutaway spot for the rear view mirror too. I might end up getting a rear view mirror on my next windshield. But anyway, yeah, that's my plan. You can also get just cardboard and spray paint it black. That was suggested to me by Cody, but I don't want cardboard. Let's see, the next question is from Van Living, and it is, are you coming to RTR near Flagstaff, Arizona, June 16th to 26th. I am not this year. I might try to make it next year. I'm going to be up in Portland, Oregon, rebuilding the van, getting my teeth fixed, relaxing, resting. I'm a little burnt out from being on the road, just a little bit. Having like a month to just relax and just work on the van and be in one spot is gonna do me a lot of good. Snow Cone Monster says, how are you so cool? because I match the definitions in your head of what it means to be a cool person. Not everybody thinks I'm cool. Lottie Ember, or Lady Ember, thank you for helping me with the pronunciation of that, by the way. Some of these names are really hard to pronounce. You just made my life much easier. Your question is, I have been wondering if you've seen the YouTube channel Shelby and Simon. He makes a living by doing Airbnb photo shoots. Have you considered this possible source of income on the road? Yes, I do watch their channel, and I have considered that. I looked into it. They want a full portfolio, and I've only done one real estate photo shoot. So I'm still building up my portfolio. That may be an option in the future. Simon M says, don't you get bored of always being by yourself? How do you stay happy? I stay happy by choosing what thoughts I attach myself to, and choosing what beliefs I want to believe in. As far as getting bored, I never get bored. I don't think I've ever felt that sensation before. I'm always trying to figure out something in my head. And as far as being by myself, sounds like you're a bit of an extrovert. You get energy from being with people. It costs me energy to interact with people, so I get more energy by being by myself. Not that I don't enjoy hanging out with people, I definitely do, but there's a certain limit where I just need to be alone for a while. I hope that kind of answers that. It's kind of yeah, I think that's the best I can do for now. Johnny Peacock says, has traveling caused you to go into debt? If so, how much debt have you accumulated on the road? I'm thinking about van dwelling, but I'm concerned about finances. I've racked up about $3,000 in credit card debt since I've been on the road. The first 6 months was pretty much just using credit cards. I used it for most of my expenses. Some of that's interest, but yeah, I don't really think that's a big deal because I'm figuring out ways to make money. I'm gonna pay that off in no time. It'll all be paid off by the end of the year, one way or another. I'm gonna make it happen. Spazzo, if nothing else, the haunted house in Massachusetts, when I work that'll pay for all of it. Sprazzo says, hi, does your fridge make a noise when it's on during the night? Yes, but it's very quiet and it's a pleasant sound. It's not a super annoying, a lot of house fridges are really loud. It's it's almost a pleasant sound, and it's so quiet you can't even hear it. With a fan on or with earplugs in, I can't hear it at all. The rest of your question is, you're getting into van dwelling on your 20th birthday, or you'd like to, and you're worried about what your parents will think, and you're asking me what my parents thought at first. They didn't really, I just do what I do, and they are like, okay, cool. I tried to do it when I was 18, but I was in a really bad mental, I was in kind of a dark space at that time, so they were probably worried about me doing it then more because of that than understanding this is my way of creating freedom in my life. So yeah, my situation I don't think it really matches yours because it was a unique thing. I think that if your parents don't support you doing what you want to do to make your life more free, then you should do it anyway. And if they don't understand later, then they're not very supportive anyway. But I have known nothing about your situation, so I'm not judging you or saying that's what it is at all. Safari Living says, also, what did you do with the rear air conditioning and heater in my van? This van actually didn't come with either of them, luckily. I would have removed them if it did. Static Camper Van says, but I'd have someone help me with the air conditioning part because the stuff that's inside of there is really nasty. Static Camper Van says, well, just wondering if you were trying to transition to vegan diet because of health concerns or other reasons. Specifically, what are your thoughts on the relationship between what we eat and its effect on our vibrational energy? I'm guessing you have some opinions on this topic. I was changing it partially for the health, but more to try to do my part to save the environment. After I learned about the environmental impact of the meat industry, I decided that it was my responsibility to at least drastically cut down my meat consumption. I haven't been able to completely eradicate it yet. That's like a more into the future thing. I still feel if I don't eat meat, I get really tired. I hear that that's like a B vitamin thing. I've got a lot to learn about this diet stuff and veganism and all of this, but it was mainly an environmental thing. Just doing my part to ensure that if I have kids, they have a safe planet to live on, that they have air to breathe and it's not too hot global warming hasn't completely destroyed the planet for all of us, and we are still a species, pretty much. It's more self-preservation than anything of both myself and my species. I've got hopefully at least 40 or 50 years left of my life, and I'd like to have a habitable planet to live on, to spend the rest of that time. As far as how it affects vibrational energy, I don't know for certain that that's a real thing. I don't know for certain that anything's a real thing. Like, thoughts are just thoughts, interpretations. Everything just is. Anyway, as far as how it affects how I feel, the physical sensation of my body, food absolutely affects that. Oh yeah, big time. As far as if that's some metaphysical thing or whether that's just chemicals talking to each other in my brain or reacting to each other, I don't know. Luna Umbra says, how has producing this much change your perception of reality and sense of self? And that's in reference to making videos. Yeah, he had asked a question about why I use my cell phone while I'm filming and if it's distracting. I use it because it has a timer on it, and this camera automatically shuts off after 20 minutes. As far as how it's filming has changed my sense of self, I think I've gotten a little more into my ego. Before I was a little more detached from it. Now I'm a little more into the story of me and the story of my life and creating my life. But I've also become much more aware of it because I'm able to go back and not just observe myself and be the observer and observe myself in the present moment, but I'm also able to look back and see how I've acted in certain situations and thought about certain things. And I'm able to watch myself from this really unique, like, as if I'm a totally different person, but still be like, oh, that's me. That's how I reacted in that situation. That's how what I thought and all this. So I think that it's really like improved my my ability to be insightful and my connection to myself in a way. It's really hard to explain this stuff. It Tracks says, sooner or later, some expensive repairs will be required for your van. How do you prepare for the situation? I haven't yet. I'm going on luck right now. As I'm paying off my credit cards, those will be used in case something terrible happens. But this van runs better than it ever has for me, so I'm really not worried about it. No matter what happens, I'll find a way and I'll create a solution. I've been to the bottom. I've been to my own personal rock bottom, and I made my way out, and I'm not really afraid of that happening. But if it does, I'll figure something out. Ryan Gonzalez says, are you excited about visiting your hometown? I guess yes, very much. And I'm at the same time I'm a little worn out from being on the road so much and interacting with people all the time. And I'm trying to create a second channel right now and a clothing line and build my website and build the channel and do all the stuff, and it's like I'm just a little overwhelmed, and I could really use a good lay down, rest, and just chill out for like at least a week. So I'm really looking forward to that. All this stuff is all new to me, so I'm really I'm trying to find that balance between how hard I can work and how much stuff I can figure out and how much I can do in a day, and how much I need to rest, and trying to find that perfect balance where I stay energized and everything, but I'm still able to like kick ass and like make stuff happen, you know? It's a hard balance for me to find right now, but I'm definitely working on it. Nath Null says, love your stuff, man. Thanks. Have you ever seen anything during your travels that defy conventional logic, such as UFOs? Not since I've been on the road, but I have seen some lights in the sky that I cannot explain, and it very much resembled the Phoenix lights, if you've ever seen that online. It was exactly the same thing, but in Oregon. I still have no idea what that was. Josh Rodriguez, oh no, I had a ghost hunting experience. Watch my old videos from Salem. These are like 6 months ago or something. To see those. I had some pretty weird experiences there. Josh Rodriguez says, whoa, it's quite the process editing the vlogs. We appreciate it. Oh, that is quite the process of editing the vlogs, but we appreciate it. Thanks, and keep crushing it. Thanks, dude. I thought that was a question. Thank you very much. It is quite the process. Christopher Deacon says, would you recommend others to start shooting videos and posting to YouTube? This is just my opinion, and take it with a grain of salt, but I think if you have something of value to educate others or to entertain others or to affect their life in any positive way, which you do, everybody does somehow, then I think you should absolutely do it. If you're just trying to make money, or you're just trying to, I'm not saying that you would do this, but other people, obviously, just trying to piss people off and stir shit up or whatever, then I personally would rather not anybody else do that, but that's just me. Robert Phillips says, I watched your moth video and you said it flew to the cemetery. Did you go there and check it out? You never know what might be trying to guide you to something that you need to see. I thought about that afterwards. I was like, whoa, what if this is like an omen or something? But if it's true that there is some like higher power like guiding me to like learn new things or experience new things or grow in certain ways, then if I missed my shot there, wouldn't it make sense that this whatever this conscious thing is would try to get me to learn that or experience that some other way? You know what I mean? Daniel, I'm sorry, I forgot which one it is. Well, it's hard when there's no face to remember. There's just a name. I remember faces and the feelings of people a lot more than their names. And anyway, your question is, can you let me know when you're near Eugene? Maybe we can meet up in Junction City, Oregon. The thing is with this, I would love to, but I have like anywhere from 1 to like 10 people contact me every day and say, hey, when you're in this place, contact me and let's hang out. But I have no way to organize all this stuff, and it's really... if you want to meet up with me, you have to watch my videos, and when you see that I'm going to be in a certain area, get a hold of me then, because there's just so many people like all over the world now that want to meet me, and it's like, wow, this is cool, but I have no way, I don't know how to organize this, and I guess I could get a notebook or something and start keeping track, but it's, yeah, just let me know when you know that I'm going to be in the area. My videos, I post them the next day, so they're not like lagged like a week or anything. Safari Living says, are you going to grow your hair out again? I think so, yeah. I got a lot of people telling me to cut my hair, so that makes me want to grow it out even more. Sean says, do you see yourself living the van life for some time to come? I have no idea, man. This is all, this is just what I want to do now. I know that I want to be in a sailboat someday and learn how to sail and possibly sail the world. Depends on how much storms scare me, but I don't want to at the same time, I don't want to let fear rule my life. So, yeah, I don't think it's forever, but it's definitely for right now. It's definitely. Next question is from Andrew, and is, do you or have you ever surfed? I have not, but I would like to, but I also do not like cold water at all. So I think I'm going to have to get a pretty badass wetsuit. Julsa says, are there certain cities or states that are easier to stealth camp than others? How long does it take to find a place to sleep? You are awesome. Thank you. It really depends on finding a place to sleep. I used to do like almost exclusively Walmarts because they're super easy. I just put in my phone nearest Walmart and it takes me there, and that's it. Florida is definitely the hardest. I think I had 2 encounters where I got woken up in the middle of the night by police or security. They're really keen to it. They know exactly what you're doing, and they don't like it. So Florida, I think, was the hardest for me. It seems like New Orleans was the easiest. The cops don't care at all. Daniel, oh, I just did that one, sorry. Wow, I must have moved this whole thing. Blake Reed says, what's the most important thing in your van? Definitely my comfortable bed. I love that bed so much, and a good night's sleep is so important to me. Backwood says, where is the sketchiest place you have slept? Probably that place I was staying in New Orleans. Stephanie Davis says, could you do a new detailed updated van tour video? Absolutely, I will get that done soon. Little Blue Bus Adventure says, now you've been out boondocking, do you think a short bus would be nice to have clearance to stand a little bit and more storage? Yes, but they're wide and they're so like, look at me, I'm a small school bus turned into a house thing. I don't want that kind of attention. So I really like the idea of standing up and having more storage, absolutely. But I think I'd rather have like a Ford Transit or a ProMaster or maybe even a Sprinter, but probably not because those parts are really expensive. I've got one question left. 27 seconds, dang. Sorry I can't answer it. Frost Freedom. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Love yourself. Woo!